Hello, good morning. Today I'm going to drink some hojicha. Never had it before, so I'm excited about it. Hojicha is a green tea that has been roasted and then milled or ground, similar to matcha. I've been drinking a lot of matcha recently, so expanding a little bit into hojicha seems like fun to me. Just got it yesterday, haven't opened it yet. I'm going to assume it's the same process. I can just do the same process as making matcha. We'll see how that turns out. I'm going to use about as many grams as I normally do with matcha. What I'm most excited about is that I got a big bag of this stuff. You can get a lot more hojicha than matcha. Matcha is quite expensive, the kind that I'm getting. So I'm going to drink this hojicha and then I'm going to have some pu'er after that. And I'm just going to describe my experience as I'm drinking it. There's going to be lots of quiet time, so I'm just going to be sitting and drinking tea. I just spilled a whole lot of hojicha. It looks like chocolate. Oh my gosh. I think I've ruined my pants. Smells nice. Definitely smells roasted. Okay. Go ahead and measure it. Smells. Smells a bit like there was a tea called bitter melon, I think, roasted bitter melon. Smells a lot like that. It's also a little chocolatey, like a little coca, like hot chocolate. All right, that's a little under 4 grams. Here we go, 4 grams. It's kind of getting everywhere. It's a little bit, I don't know how to handle this. I also don't know what temperature I should be using for the water to brew it. So I'm pouring some water here just to let it cool down as I do the sifting. This is the hojicha. Can you see that? Okay. All right, I don't have any language. I don't have a lot of language for roasted things. I don't drink a lot of, I guess I drink roasted tea, but this is very roasted. It's like, it seems more like coffee. There's a little bit of vinegary type scent. It's definitely sinusy, getting into the sinuses. That smells a bit like zoo animals. I think it's because, I don't know why. It smells like zoo animal. It's not a particularly pleasant scent. Wow. It looks a bit like chocolate. It is surprisingly less dense than matcha. I'm usually drinking about the same amount of liquid with the same amount of tea powder for matcha, and the matcha is like much thicker. This doesn't seem very thick. I think it's like chocolate. And maybe like coffee. Again, much less thick. It's a little bitter, like back of the tongue and bitter. It's really good. Retro nasal scent is quite nice. What I mean is like after I've already swallowed and I'm breathing, there's a coating in the mouth and the throat, and there's still more flavor that I can taste after that's happened, and it's pretty nice. The only flavor that I'm noticing is just the roasting flavor. And I don't know a lot about roasting, so I'm imagining it's kind of similar to a coffee. I've never really drank coffee before, so I don't know how coffee tastes or how to distinguish different types of coffee, different levels of roast or any of that. So I'm going to dilute it a little bit. Can't say I like it. Can't say it because I don't like it. It's not particularly bad. It's just not that enjoyable. I'm not sure if it has the similar effects that matcha does in terms of how pleasant it feels, but I will know shortly. All right. Now it's time for some pu'er. All right, I've got this hojicha everywhere. It's like, you can probably see some of it, but it's like all over here. Just sprayed out everywhere. I didn't choose a good tea to have after the hojicha, okay? I'm going to drink a tea that doesn't have a name, it's just pu'er, but I've labeled it. I didn't mark the name down when I broke it up. So it was a cake. It was a tea cake. I believe it was a tool. I don't know. Some kind of tea cake. May have been a tool. And then I broke it up and I drank it a couple times. I liked it, sort of. Liked is a kind of a strong word there, but I kind of liked it. And didn't write down the name. Don't know where it came from. But I labeled it as tobacco and kuding. Kuding is a type of herb. It's a Chinese herb. And is extremely, extremely, extremely bitter. So I'm about to drink some of that. I put in 8 grams. The aftertaste of this hojicha, it's still there. It's pretty good, actually. It's like continuing to develop and persist, and I like it. It's a little fruity, actually. After a while, it becomes a little fruity. Don't know what kind of... It's like a red fruit. Some kind of red fruit. Maybe cherry, maybe berry. More like cherry. Red, cherry. A little bit of the vinegary feeling. Sour, I guess. Okay. Not much scent when dry for this warranty. It's a little herbaceous. Oh, that's good. Okay, it smells like vanilla, or it smells like vanilla. It smells like caramel. It smells like buttermilk waffles, like toasted buttermilk waffles, or like, you know, cooked waffle. It's a very soft, pleasant feeling scent. There's a fruitiness to it. Don't know the fruit. Feels good. Definitely more sinus than chest. Seems to linger for a bit, the scent. Pretty rough pour there. Not a good flow at all, and not a good shape. Nice color though. Leaves on the lid. It's a very pleasant scent. There are some very small bubbles that are persisting. That's very pleasant. There's an immediate shift in my awareness. But we won't start there. It's more like there's a berry flavor. It's like cranberry. It's extremely smooth, extremely round, no bitterness. It's like surprisingly no bitterness. The fruitiness is very strong. If you had a drink called Berry Blast and it was hot, it would be like this. There is definitely cranberry that's kind of predominating it, but there's also other berry, miscellaneous berry flavors happening. It's pretty sweet, but it's not like it's a little sweet, but it's not very sweet. It's not like it's not super sweet. Swallows very nicely. Doesn't seem to be incredibly light. But it's definitely not thick. Pretty slow swallow. I'm gonna want to take a second. Aftertaste is staying for a very long time. There's a feeling of, the sense of my awareness of the body is pretty much gone. It's kind of weird. It's like, it feels different than normal. I often have the sense of the body disappearing, but there's something different about this. It feels more like, I think it's more visual. Yeah, if I have like a visual perception of my body in my mind, if I could just like imagine parts of the body or focus my attention onto parts of my body, it seems like it's difficult to do it visually. That is strange. same with the room. If I am focusing on the room with my visual imagination, it seems more like a sky than a room. Another pour that was not very, I'm just saying not good. I think I said that before. It wasn't good. What I mean is the stream is not consistent. It starts coming out and it seems to be blocked, then it comes out more, then it gets blocked, and then the shape of it changes. More leaves on the lid, some stems. It smells nice. It's starting to smell like big leaf cooting. I think the color is a little darker, to be expected. Steeped it for much longer. I feel that my motor functions, they seem smooth, very smooth. That is delicious. This is a fantastic tea. I may be overspeaking. We just started. This is so smooth. It feels so pleasant on the tongue. The flavor is very nice. I like this berry flavor, but it's also beginning to get this cooting flavor, which is, it's a herb of some sort. I don't really know how to describe the flavor beyond that. And though it doesn't have the bitterness that I would have expected based on the name and the taste of the cooting. And my memory, I remember drinking this tea. It feels very pleasant in the chest, down the esophagus, into the chest. Just a little warm, like a regular warm, warm as in like warm liquid warm, not spiciness, no, none of the extra heat. It's just regular warm, nice and cozy. That was my second steep, and it was 10 seconds. Still not getting any bitterness. I actually kind of want to pull out the bitterness, but it's surprising that I can't, or couldn't so far. Definitely cooling. feeling a sense of stability. Things seem to be happening a little bit out of sequence here. I'm used to a particular, at least a kind of a trajectory, a normal sequence of how I'm affected by certain teas. But there were some things are happening out of order and things are a little different. Anyway, at the moment I'm feeling a sense of stability, but it's different than normal, I think. It feels weird. It feels weird. It doesn't feel weird. It feels different. What I mean is that it is different, not that it feels different. It's not like a feeling that is associated with it. It just is different than what I'm used to. In any case, there is the feeling of stability, but it feels like it's like a stabilizer. I can only make a analogy here. It's like a stabilizer with the ground. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, if you see a you ever see a video of somebody talking and they're moving their head and it's stabilized in a way that their head is always in the center of the frame exactly? It's like that, but with the ground. And I don't know why that would be. I don't know how to describe that more. You see a little bit of that sediment. Had some sediment in my pore. I didn't mention before. So I'm starting to feel like there's a sense of, there's like a pulsation that happened in my esophagus. It's kind of happening still. It's very pleasant. It's just, I don't know. Some activation from the tea. There's more fruitiness in the aftertaste still. It's like tropical fruit of some sort. Mango. But like a slightly underripe mango. Nice pour, bad shape. It was a very nice pour though. Good flow. I mean, nice flow, pour, shape. Felt good. feeling some heightened sensitivity to touch, but not touch. It's more like temperature, specifically. Starting to pick up a little bit of the bitterness. Oh, that's good. It's like perfectly. Still needs more, but that's really good. It says a slight bitterness in the taste, and then there's a bit of astringency across the tongue, and there's the feeling of it slightly drying out, and then becoming more. It's like activating the salivation. And there's like a change in the flavor as it's happening. So it starts more herbal, seems to start to dry out a little bit, and then it becomes more salivation kind of happening there, and then it becomes more like berry. And then only in the aftertaste, it's more like tropical fruit, mango. I can hear some birds outside. I'm enjoying the sounds. I'm still having this sense of not visualizing well or properly or whatever. Like the room, if I'm visualizing the room, it seems more like a sky. Difficult to visualize the body. And I can't really do it with the birds either. I don't know what... I can also hear cars. I think it'd be typically easy for me to visualize a car or a bird. But it seems very distant and difficult now. Drying of the tongues continuing, still feeling a little bit more astringent. It's not an obvious astringency, it's like the fuzziness. It's a slight drying of the tongue, making the tongue feel fuzzy. feeling a lot of muscle relaxation and cooling over the body. Like surface temperature feels cool. Interior still feels like, for example, chest and esophagus still feels quite warm, but skin feels cold. Cool, not cold, cool. Pleasant, cool. I feel like I'm running out of water. It just seems quick. That was a crazy bird call. What is that? I don't think I counted that at all. I don't know I don't know what was happening there. I didn't count that at all. I don't know how long it was. Fewer leaves on the lid. Having some slight visual effects. Seems like my towel, I have a towel here. I don't know what is visible on the screen, but I have a towel here, actually 2 towels. Got some towels here, and it looks like they are pulsing to me, like they're like, waving. More like waving towards the inside. But the table seems not to be doing that, and my tray seems to not be doing that, just the towels. aftertaste is still very mango, and the front taste is a little herby and a little bit berry. I'm reminded of the name or the label I gave, tobacco including, and I'm not getting any tobacco and very little cooting, with only slight bitterness. I think I'm out of water. I'm actually going to refill my water now. Water may be reducing the bitterness. I haven't actually had this tea in a long time, and so that might be a part of it. Having it rest for a while, and I have upgraded the water formula, I think, since the last time I had this tea. I say I have upgraded. I've actually transitioned from my own water formula to using more exclusively the empirical water from a company called Empirical Water. The founder, RB, makes really nice water. Taken a lot of inspiration from how he makes his water, from my own water, but these days I mostly just use his recipe directly as is, without any of my own twists. In any case, his water has been updated recently. In the past few months, there have been some updates. And I haven't had this tea in a while, so maybe the updates of the water have made the bitterness less strong, extraction of bitterness less likely. Still, I'm beginning, I'm feeling pleasant. I have an event tonight, and I never looked into more about the introvert thing, how to lower the nervous system activation after a social event. Never looked into it more. So I started to see a after image. I have a light that is directed towards me as I'm recording this, or streaming this rather. I have a light directed towards me, and when I close my eyes, I am occasionally seeing the after image of that light. Which I can focus on. It seems kind of similar to a casino, fire casino specifically. But it's cool, it's a ring. It starts as a ring. quite a lot of muscle relaxation. The feeling of my throat and esophagus, I was saying that there was some activation earlier. It was like some movement or whatever that felt very pleasant, but now it is settled. I haven't drank in a bit. And it's like a very strong settling. It's a very strong, pleasant, calm in my chest and throat. I feel like my breathing is slower than normal. starting to feel a very nice body buzz. Instead of the regular feelings of the body, like pressure where I'm sitting for my butt, or my legs touching because they're overlapping right now, and my hand holding my other hand, as opposed to feeling any of that. It's just the buzzing. Nice shape of the pour. It was a bit of a lazy pour, and I also spilled. Poured from a little too close, and I tilted a little too slow. Should be high. Little spill. That was a little more herbal. very cooling in the aftertaste and feeling. Muscle. So as I'm moving, I want to move my whole body. It's kind of a weird feeling. But then I also just don't want to move. Rather, it's like the feeling of very strong muscle relaxation. It's wanting to just come back to full rest. Movements are all full body movement, but the preference is to rest. Beginning to taste a bit more like pudding again, and the mango taste is coming quicker. But he also feels thinner. So, I'm surprised again with the lack of bitterness and astringency in this tea. I had a little bit of astringency. I think I had one tiny instance of bitterness. Not much there. And it seems like I'm already coming towards the end in terms of how very thin tasting I was, feeling it was. Nice pour. Nice shape. Nice height. A little weak on my part. Very good. What I mean by weak is I didn't tilt fast enough. The difference of tilting like this and like this. If I tilt too slowly, there's a tendency for the liquid to dribble down the sides or the edge of this cup. It also just feels less controlled if I'm going too slow. Usually if I'm moving too slowly, what will happen is I'll start moving slow. Then when the liquid starts to come out, there's a feeling of imbalance, and then it kind of makes me move faster. So then it's not a consistent tilting, it's like a slow and then like a ramp. Anyway, I didn't spill anything, but I was on the edge of slow. Even more cooling flavor here. Swallowing is a little bit less smooth. There's a little more effort involved with the swallow. The tea looks nice. I like the color of the leaves. I doubt it's very visible. You got some greens, you got some brown. Oh, that's all I'll be drinking today. It's very pleasant. Feeling very calm. I had some tea yesterday with a couple friends, and it was lovely. I was very excited. Maybe it's just the social interaction that made me excited, but I was very excited. We had some matcha. And some other teas. Then we went and got some ramen afterwards. That's the stream. We're all done. I enjoyed that very much. Let's do it again.